Frank Pee Wee Matthew versus Carlo Gambino and Paul Castellano. Hey, that's a powerful story. And why that's a powerful story? Because if you look at it and you look at who Frank Matthew became one of the most powerful crime figure on back in the 60s and 70s. And the difference is he got away. Nobody know whether he's dead, whether he's alive. Nobody know anything about this man right now. But at one point in time, during that period from the 60s to the 70s, it's a story. And the story went along like this, that Frank Matthew, he went to the Gambino crime family, and young guy, and he wanted heroin. He wanted them to give him a package of heroin on consignment. And for some reason, I guess they felt that his credit wasn't good enough, what he was bringing to the table wasn't good enough, or the fact that they just didn't want to deal with him. And that kind of infuriated him. That got Frank so pissed that what he decided to do, hey, I'm going to still, you know what I'm saying, get me some decent heroin, and I'm going to make it happen. And I'm going to take these cats out of business that they're going to have to come to me. So when you sit back and you look at it, okay, here it is right now, pure determination, country boy from Durham, North Carolina. He didn't want to take no for an answer. So he went out there and he created his own plug. Not only did he create his own plug as time went on, he wound up creating the most biggest plug out there as far as in the United States at the time, especially when it was done by a black man developing a black organization, unheard of. Besides, like the Black Panther and the political black parties, you didn't hear nothing about organization from a black person, or the Black Mafia family from Philly. You hear very real, like, blacks sticking together and building an organization, especially on an illegal home front. But this is what that man did. He was so bitter, he was so upset that he went out there and he created the network and started making a necessary plug, and he got plugged into the right people. And once he got plugged into the right people, guess what? All that stuff was international. He was getting stuff in from out the country. And his stuff, at the time was way better than what the Italian was getting. And see, people don't understand, even during that period of time, the Italian commission had a big meeting. And during that meeting, they were saying, listen, they people was getting extremely too much time messing with smack, messing with heroin. So the difference was the Italian agreed to back out of the heroin business, to back out of the drug business. Because once again, they knew with the time that they was getting, they people receiving when they get busted with drug, that it can be the rest of their life spent in the jail. And chances are, when people faced with that type of predicament, chances are they're going to turn on the organization. So the commission, most of the Italian agreed, we're going to get out of that. But guess what? And if you get caught into that, guess what? It's basically an automatic death sentence. So the Italians supposedly got out of it, so they say, but you had a chosen few that was still wetting their beak. They were still dipping their hand back into that game, because nobody could sit back and think about and give up all that money. They looking up millions and millions and millions of dollars that was in the drug game, and they wasn't willing to give that up. So here it is, what Frank did. Frank came along, he got a heck of a plug from out the country. And then what he started doing, he started providing, and like I'm saying, people, he started providing people with the, kilos of heroin. And not only did he did it in the New York metropolitan area, he started taking it to 14 different states. 14 different states. And he tried to bring the black and Hispanic together as one. And you know what? From my understanding, the Italian hated that. The Italian didn't, Here it is, this man coming in our area with the best product. Best product win. And what he was doing is kind of forcing their hand. So from my understanding, Carlo Gambino put a hit out on Frank and said right now he wanted Frank dead. Okay? Now Frank, country boy. And you know what? Right now, when they grow up in down south or whatever, pure country boy, they don't care nothing about that racism. Just right there, if you hate them, they're going to hate you back. So what he told him, listen, you can come after me, But I guarantee you, I go to all the Italian area and I start spraying, killing every Italian that I see, that me and my guys see. So here it is, from my understanding, Carlo called the hit. Okay, it wasn't worth it. Because there's a difference if you just can hit somebody and get away with it, opposed to you going against an army just as strong as your guys. Nobody wanted to go to the mattress, as people call it. Nobody wanted to go in hiding. And then nobody wanted to put their family in jeopardy. So the difference is he realized that Frank Matthew was probably just as powerful as he was, that he decided to back away. But then again, you sit back and you look at it, you know what, here it is, you think about the Five family, you think about the Mafia or whatever, he gonna let this black man get all this money or whatever and don't do anything about it. He gonna let this black man kind of put him in checkmate and don't do nothing about it. You know what, nah. The difference is they did something about it. Frank turned around, right now, and got him a mansion out in Staten Island, right next to Paul Castellano, Carlo Gambino brother-in-law. Okay? Now, from my understanding, you know what? Being that they couldn't kill him, they allowed the federal government to use Paul Castellano's house to spy, to get license plate, to put bugs, to do different things to surveillance, Frank Matthew and his activity. Sit back and think about it, folks. That was years ago. We talk about in the 60s and 70s. And everybody keep talking about this game, how the game's being played. The game was never being played fair. People don't care about, what did I do to win? People gonna lie, cheat, steal, do whatever they take to win at all costs. And that's what wound up happening. When you allow the powerful organization like the Mafia, that here it is, if they can't beat you, they're going to allow the FBI, they're going to allow the DEA, they're going to allow law enforcement to go against you, and they're going to be a part of that to help bring you down for your demise. So slowly but surely what happened is, guess what? They built the case on Frank, and what's supposed to happen? He got knocked, leaving what? He was leaving L.A. going to Vegas, or leaving Vegas going to L.A., and he got knocked. And right now, when he got knocked, they wanted him to have like a several $1 million bill. And you know what? They gave it to him. Then he got sent back to Brooklyn. When he got sent back to Brooklyn, they lowered his bail. Okay? And then allegedly, he's supposed to got out. He was out for a little while. And then right now, he's about to hit him with another superseding indictment that he took, allegedly, $20 million and disappeared into the sunset. And nobody never even heard of him again. You sit back and think about it, folks. First of all, like right now, all man is rich in their own thoughts and ideals. And they can do anything. We can do anything that we put our mind to. The same way that he put his mind into being a kingpin, imagine if he would put his mind into, the computer system. Imagine if he would put his mind into pharmaceutical, like, medicine, saving life. Imagine if he would have put his mind into being an architect and building skyscraper. Guess what? We can do anything that we put our mind to. Mind over matter. Mind over matter. Listen, this is Brian Glaze Gibbs. Hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel. This, like I told you right now, is I'm trying something different. Right now, this is my ministry, and I am not your typical minister. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the good, I'm going to give you the bad, I'm going to give you the ugly. Hey, subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram, Brian Glaze Gibbs, and get your signed copy of the Beyond Lucky book, a true story, crack, murder, money, redemption. Email me, Brian, BRIAN, Gibbs, GIBBS, 1201 at yahoo.com. Once again, folks, crime doesn't pay. Nobody get away. I don't care who you are, what you are. There's always a price to pay. So don't think, what I'm saying is slick. There's nothing slick about this. I'm trying to keep you updated about the history of the street. You got very few people that survive and won. Thank you.
Notorious cocaine crack enterprise in the city. That being Howard Happy Mason and Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols.
NYPD rookie police officer was murdered, executioner style. And as I'm listening to that, I'm like, whoa.
You actually dealt with Brian Glaze Gibbs, huh?
I dealt with him years ago, back in the 80s, early 90s. I was where he was arrested by my partner.
back in those days for several murders himself.
Not bad. I was given to me by a police officer in New York called Matt Byrne, whose son was gunned down by these drug dealers up there in New York City.
Blaze was probably within the top 10 people in the city, but I'm going to say that he was probably one of the top 2 or 3 in Brooklyn. Drug dealers, and controlled the drug organization.
And you know what I did? When I got the phone, I told my man, the next time we see him, he's out of here. Yeah. Less than 12 hours, that nigga was dead.
Is this the second person you murdered?
No. Because, like, right now, if you're going by the timeline, by that time, there's a few more before him.
You know, I heard so many good things about you. What I really like is, I know you're a tough guy. And I've known that for quite a while, and you changed your life, and you're coming around, and you're right. We're from New York, and we're New Yorkers. No matter what color you are, no matter what religion you are, no matter what you are, you know, we're New Yorkers.
Well, he was a drug kingpin himself. He was a drug lord himself back in those days, and he operated out of Brooklyn and East New York, and you know, he committed a lot of violent acts himself. So if anybody knows the streets, I mean, he knows the streets.
Tottenham. Yeah, you gotta worry about them guys. But we only have to worry about those guys in Vanderveer and stuff. You know, we all knew Glaze and Tottenham, all those guys.
Yeah.
I know Glaze, Supreme Team. What up, Glaze? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, inside the mind of a killer, the brain.
Yes, we're in Sin City, Las Vegas.
Welcome to Las Vegas. You're here. Do you know where to go? Vegas Noir Transport will suggest the hottest spots and then get you there safely and quickly. Club crawls and tours or pickup and drop-offs.